This episode is a continuation of my answer to this question that comes from Phil, a machine shop owner who is 100% shareholder of a subchapter S corporation, and he asks, my corporation sustained losses in the amount of $45,000 in the 2013 tax year. Can I deduct these losses on my personal 1040? Watch this episode and the one just before this to learn why he may not be able to.
Welcome to this episode of Accounting and Tax Tips. Smart strategies for small business success with certified public accountant Tina Moe.
Getting to deduct your business losses isn't a guarantee, so in this episode, let's take a look at each of the final two loss limitations and some basic elements of each one. Debt basis is the next loss limitation that must be considered, and this basis comes from loans made from the shareholder to the S corporation. It does not count if the shareholder has a personal guarantee on a loan made to the S corporation. It must be a loan from the shareholder to the S corporation, and this debt basis value is used solely for the purpose of determining the amount of loss a shareholder may currently deduct in excess of his or her stock basis. Debt basis has no bearing on the gain or loss calculations for the sale of the stock or for the taxation of S corporation distributions. The second tier of loss limitations is called the passive activity loss, and this refers to your level of participation in your business. If you aren't actively involved in managing, operating, or otherwise working with your S corporation, you may be subject to the passive activity loss limitation. According to the IRS, a taxpayer materially participates in an activity if he or she works on a regular, continuous, and substantial basis in operations. If a taxpayer does not materially participate, losses are passive, which means they generally are not deductible in the absence of passive income. Material participation is time sensitive. A taxpayer can materially participate in 1 year as long as they meet one of 7 participation tests. As you can see, Phil, there are distinct guidelines that determine the deductibility of your net operating loss from your S corporation. Be sure to check with a tax professional to see if you are subject to any of these loss limitations, and if you are, you should ask about the ability to carry forward or backward any losses you sustain. You don't necessarily lose these losses, but you may not be able to take them in the current tax year. If you have a tax question, please submit it to tina@actservices-inc.com and I'll make it the topic of a future show. For more information on this and other tax topics, visit my website at www.actservices-inc.com.
Thank you for watching this episode of Accounting and Tax Tips with Tina Moe. For more great information, visit Tina's website at www.actservices-inc.com. Also browse the other shows found right here at Indie Biz TV Shows.